It's happening. They just opened. I think the number one question that I receive, even since the day I started this channel, why do I not share my analyses on Bath & Body Works candles? I think a lot of you folks assume that I have something against this company, and that's just simply not the case. So I went out and I purchased an entire collection. It's called Hit Refresh. 9 fragrances in total included in this collection. And I truly do have my work cut out for me because I'm going to plow through all 9 of these fragrances. I'm going to share with you my thoughts, my descriptors, my breakdown, my sensory evaluation on all 9 of these fragrances. So people, are you ready? So real quick before we begin, I'm fully aware that on the bottom of these jars there are fragrance notes, but you're going to notice that I'm not going to be utilizing them. You never want to take these fragrance notes too literally. My opinion, don't trust the labels, don't trust the notes, trust your nose. All right, so first on the list, we have Wild Sage and Aloe. This is the big moment. I can't do my swirl thing. It's funny because what's coming through the most isn't sage and it's not aloe. It's citrus. I'm getting a hefty dose of lemon, but more than that, I'm getting like the zestiness of a navel orange, but the brightness and the tanginess of like a clementine. A lot of citrus going on. But you know what, when it comes to sage, it's always very difficult because from variety to variety, they can taste and smell completely different. But what I can say for sure is that this is not culinary sage. This is not a sage that you're going to use in the kitchen. What do they say? They say desert sage. Okay, so I don't know what desert sage is, but if I had to classify the herbaceous notes in this candle, I would say this has like some parsley or even clover notes. Cucumber. Now that's probably the aloe that I'm smelling, but I'm getting a distinct cucumber, like the meat and the actual peel itself. But it does smell like aloe. But it smells like the fragrance world aloe. You know what I mean? Like it smells like a cologne aloe, like Barbasol shaving cream aloe. Very masculine. Some orange blossom, a little bit of floral action, and there's a woodiness here. I'm gonna say French oak, like French oak wine barrels, right? And I'm not saying French oak to sound pretentious. It's just that French oak compared to American oak is a much tighter grained wood, so it doesn't smell like lumber or Home Depot. It smells like fresh, new wooden furniture. And that's kind of what's going on here. So this is a lower intensity candle, but I really do appreciate low intensity candles. I think there's something very special to be said about a candle that can speak very softly and yet still say so much. This is a very complex candle. I don't think I fully discovered everything this candle has to say, but for the sake of time, we will move on. Great way to start this collection, Wild Sage and Aloe. Excellent. Number 2, Honey Tangerine. All right. So, incredibly accurate name, at least regarding the tangerine. You know, there's a lot of spices here. This actually smells like a spiced rum, like the spices that you would put into a spiced rum. Cinnamon and clove, cardamom, caramel, vanilla, even like a hint of molasses maybe. This totally smells like a pre-prohibition cocktail. Yeah, you know, in fact, if we rename this candle pre-prohibition or like speakeasy, I think that'd be a totally appropriate name for this fragrance. And especially because of that honey side, because really that honey to me is coming through more as like an infused simple syrup that you would put into a cocktail. You know, honey has a very distinct, intense aroma. And I'm not saying this doesn't smell like honey, but if this was honey, it would be a very neutral honey. I mean, if we had to describe this, I think it would be a little bit more successful if we said like agave nectar or even a really light maple syrup. Europe. And I just have to throw this in. Do you guys remember Ecto Cooler? The late 80s Ghostbusters inspired green tangerine high C drink. Not juice, drink. Super nostalgic. I'm not saying that this smells artificial. I'm just saying that when I smell tangerine, it reminds me of that Ecto Cooler. If you have a friend who is a mixologist or a bartender, or if you're just into craft cocktails, this is one that probably belongs on your shelf. Very nice. Let's keep it going. So number 3, tomato vine. There's no mistaking this. That's the smell of a tomato vine right here. That's reminding me of like being around my father's garden. If you've never spent time around a tomato garden, the next time you're in a grocery store, pick up the tomatoes that are still on the vine, rip off one of the leaves, crumble it up in your fingers just like this, and then smell your hand. But you're gonna smell this. It's a very distinct, very pungent smell, and it's very, very hard to describe the smell of a tomato vine. I guess the best way I could describe it is like a really, really intense celery stalk smell. Does that make sense? The tomato itself, I don't smell. Unless, you know, like we could say like an unripe tomato or a green tomato has that tomato vine smell and taste. So if it was a green tomato, I mean it's red on here, but if it was a green tomato, we could say that. A lot of other green herbaceous notes here. Okay, so Thai basil, yeah. I mean, it'd probably be more appropriate if I said Italian basil, but there's something about that exotic Thai basil that I'm finding right in here. But you know what? You could say Italian parsley in here. And there's a spiciness, there's spice. I've said this recently. If you're familiar with Spanish or Californian olive oil, they're very grassy and spicy. They're very green, grassy, and spicy. That green grassy is kind of coming in through those herbs, but that spiciness is coming through too. So we're getting a little bit of this olive oil thing, and perhaps like cracked black pepper. And suddenly now it's becoming this concept, right? Because we have the tomato, we have the herbs, we have the olive oil, we have the cracked black pepper. I guess all we need now is like a balsamic vinegar, right? Nothing like that in here. But there's lemon essence. So if you take the peel of a lemon and you pinch it and it spritzes that oil out of the zest, that's the essence. And that's what I'm smelling. That essence is very reminiscent of cleaning supplies. So don't let this turn you off, hear me out, but kind of like a lemon pledge. You're probably saying, oh man, it sounded so delicious, and then he just said lemon pledge. Well, although everything did sound delicious, having that lemon pledge is actually not, I don't think it's a bad thing at all, because it gives this candle a very clean side. It gives it a clean factor, which is just adding to the complexity of this candle. I think this is dynamite. I think this is daring. I think this is bold. I think a lot of people are going to be turned off by this candle, but I think just as many people are going to find this incredibly special, and it's going to recall a lot of emotions and memories for people. So with that said though, I do want to echo a statement that I said not too long ago. We have the tomato, we have the vine, we have the herbs. My question is, where's the freshly overturned topsoil? Where's the gravel? Where's the silty clay? Where's the minerality? You have this opportunity to really go all of the way. You're already doing something that's bold. You're already doing something that's bold and daring. Why not go all the way? So the question is it that candle companies don't want to go that far? They don't want to add anything funky or weird to turn people off? They don't want to do it, or they can't do it? That's the question. Don't let this statement take anything away from this candle, because like I said, this was really, really dynamite. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this candle immensely. Let us keep on going. Number 4, Lavender Vanilla, and I can already smell it. I can already smell it. Right there, low intensity, high intensity. Yeah, so no question, lavender. But you know what? It's not crazy out of control. It's a nice, soft experience. It's not smothering the other notes. Clean, white, floral musk. Think like baby powder. Gold Bond. You know Gold Bond? It's like the medicated, mentholated powder. Yeah, you know, it's got that cooling sensation when you smell it. Although, now that I think about it, I think that cooling sensation, I'm guessing there's birch in this candle. Birch naturally has this wintergreen element to it. But if it's not birch, maybe some form of evergreen, but definitely has that cooling sensation. I'm gonna say birch though, because it's a nice, rich, robust wood smell. I do think that this candle will be very appealing to the masses. And I think that's largely due to the vanilla, the milky and sugary richness. You know, it almost smells like vanilla pudding. I almost want to say like tapioca pudding. Sugary vanilla goodness. What is very impressive, I think, about this candle is I think it's going to be equally appealing to both men and women. It may not seem like it, but you have very contrasting aromas here that go together really well. They complement each other very nice. I think the men who probably normally are not into the florals are going to be heavily attracted to that sweet, creamy, milky, vanilla, sugar side to this candle. Excellent. Humble opinion, I think this is the most successful so far. This one, oh my God, I can definitely smell this from here. The odd one out of the collection. This is going to be the Praline Pecan. All of these seem to be floral plants, fresh, clean, refreshing, and then you have a super savory concept. How do I know? I can smell it, but let's get our nose in there. Not messing around with this one. Let's take care of the pecans right off the bat. Roasted candied pecans. You ever get the pecans roasted and the sugar in the little wax paper bags when you visit the big cities? Right here. Big time brown sugar and cinnamon. Coffee cake, crumble, cinnamon, raisin, strudel. This fits the very definition of rich. Buttery, salty, vanilla extract, condensed milk. Yeah, like condensed milk. Interestingly, there's this white chocolate thing too. Have you ever had caramel fudge? Like fudge, but caramel. Or think of like the center of a Payday or a Baby Ruth candy bar. You know, it's not this ooey gooey caramel that's stretchy and elastic. It's this crumbly caramel, which makes perfect sense. It fits that praline theme. It fits that praline image. I mean, this is just super authentic. I mean, this smells so real. So definitely, I mean, it's called Praline Pecan, so you do get that pecan praline, but also pecan sandies or the pecan shortbread cookies. Look, if you love extremely sweet, decadent candles, you gotta at least check this one out. I mean, this is off the charts bombastic. I don't always use that word, I save it for the right occasion. And I believe I've used it correctly. This is a bombastically, massively intense, sweet candle. Praline Pecan. And to quote Marty McFly, your kids, they're gonna love it. Okay. Eucalyptus Rain. Here we go. It's reminding me of something so much, but I'll save it for the end. But what it's reminding me of is actually helping me think of a bunch of notes. So yes, we got the eucalyptus, but it's going to be accompanied by citrus, lime, or most likely bergamot. Citrus and eucalyptus, they go hand in hand, they complement each other so nicely. Whenever you find eucalyptus, it's usually paired with citrus. I think there's lavender in here too. I think there's lavender. Tea tree oil. Yeah, that's right. You better believe it. Chamomile. Now, I'm shooting in the dark a little bit with that one, but yeah. Or how about Aveeno Moisturizing Oatmeal Lotion? Okay, so fresh cut mint that has been sweetened with tons of sugar. Think of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. You know what? Double Mint Gum had a commercial. Juicy Fruit had a commercial. Big Red had a commercial. Wrigley Spearmint. Did Wrigley Spearmint Gum have a commercial? I don't know if it did. I do think, yeah, spearmint leaves. That is one of the notes. Super fresh, like ripped right out of the ground with your hand. A little bit of aloe vera. It's reminding me of white pepper. I don't think there would be white pepper in this, but it's reminding me of white pepper. But let me tell you what it was reminding me of when I first smelled it. Actually, it's still reminding me of it. When you bring your dog to the groomer and they shampoo and put the flea oil behind the ear and stuff, I mean, that's not a bad thing. It smells really good, but this smells so much like a dog who just got groomed. But that makes sense, right? Because I'm sure that when a dog's getting groomed, they're using those essential oils to help that dog not get parasites, ticks, the fleas, keep all that stuff away. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're using things like eucalyptus and tea tree oil. Eucalyptus Rain. White Gardenia. White Gardenia. You can smell a gardenia flower from a very far distance. They do have a tendency to aggravate my sinuses, to give me a little bit of sniffy sniff allergy. So this is me braving the storm. Wow, that's powerful. This, unlike any of the others, is taking an extreme perfume approach. Before I try to tackle some of the flower, there's some fruit. There is a little bit of fruit there. I get like nectarine, like stone fruit nectarine. And when I first smelled it, I was getting like pear, like Bartlett pear. Yeah, you know how Bartlett pears, like the skin of a Bartlett pear is like very fragrant and like perfumey? What's really going on here is a conglomeration, a cacophony, if you will, of florals. Of course, we have gardenia. Yeah, we're getting lily. Heliotrope. Heliotrope is another one of those very pungent, very powerful. You know, you could list off several other tropical flowers if you want, but again, I'd be shooting in the dark. But definitely, I think heliotrope, gardenia, lily, peony, and I definitely think rose too. There's definitely that softness here, that rose petal softness. Imagine walking through like a warm, humid greenhouse with tropical flowers, and you can just smell those petals, right? But you can also smell the stems, the green chlorophyll-rich stems of the flowers. Vetiver, there's one for you, right? Vetiver is very grassy, woody kind of aroma. It's used all the time in colognes and in perfumes. First time I'm getting to use it as a descriptor on this channel. And speaking of woody, there's some woody components happening here, but honestly, underneath all of those florals, it's going to be hard to pinpoint and be super accurate about anything. So we can say sandalwood and call it a day, or we can just say there is some form of wood component involved as a base note in this candle. Very high intensity. Look, if you love florals, if you love that idea of like tropical flower greenhouse, that's your thing and it doesn't bother you, like here and here. White gardenia. Sugared lemon zest. All right. I'm getting it. I'm getting the allure. I'm getting the attraction that people have to Bath & Body Works. I'm getting it. This is Nostalgia City. Just let me gather my thoughts for a second. Well, let me tell you, this is as accurate as a name as you're gonna get. Lemon extract, lemon essence, lemon oil, lemon flavoring that's been sugar-fied to the max. More sweetness, more sugar than fruit. And like I said, Nostalgia City, so lemon Trix breakfast cereal. Lemon Fruit Loop breakfast cereal. Fruity Pebbles, if you want to throw those in there too. Marino's Italian Ice. Remember those at the baseball park? The yellow cup with the wooden spoon? Lemon Chuckles Gummy Candies. You know, remember those, right? The gummy candies that are just coated in the granulated sugar. Oh yeah, Dots. Dots are like the gumdrops without the sugar, but they're made of sugar anyway, so they're still sweet. Jujubes. So let's put it this way. Look, if you recall any lemon candy from your childhood, from your youth, more than likely you're going to be able to smell it inside of this candle, because what's going on here is a big time concentrated lemon verbena, lemon flavoring, lemon extract, lemon zest. It's not artificial, but there's so much sugar, there's so much sweetness involved that, like I said, it becomes more of a candy smell than it does a fruit smell, which is not a bad thing, right? A few more things. Lemon icing and limoncello. Limoncello, you know limoncello? Limoncello is an Italian liqueur made from the zest of lemons. How could I not say lemon head candy? Big time sugared lemon zest, that's for sure. Lastly, Georgia peach. Georgia peach. So what happened was, I was initially told that there were 8 candles in this collection. So I went and I purchased 8 candles, and then when I got home and I unboxed them all, I realized, wait a minute, I don't have Georgia peach. That's when I realized there were 9 candles in this collection, but a lot of stores apparently only have 8. I think what's happening is a lot of Bath & Body Works storefronts don't have the tomato vine candle yet. Just a little heads up. That is peach, and I mean it. I mean, like, that's like the whole peach pit. I know this sounds crazy, but we've all sucked on a peach pit before. It has that very distinct flavor. Or think about like the part of the peach that's really close to the pit that's red. Like, it's just got that tinge of red. It's got that very distinct flavor and aroma. It's in here. To say, I mean, this is impressive. It's a fantastic execution, because not only do we get the meat of the peach in the center of the peach, I swear I could smell like the skin, like the soft, fuzzy skin of the peach. You know that the peach has like a very perfumey taste and aroma, the peach skin, just like that pear, that Bartlett pear skin, and like raspberries also have that very perfumey smell. And when you smell this, you can swear you're smelling the surface of the top of the peach. But with that said, there's definitely no questions about it. Huge candy side to this candle. Straight up peach Jolly Rancher. I don't even need to go any further, because that is spot on perfect. And check this out, peach chapstick. Yeah, I'm not kidding. You know, like, it's got like that peachy candy smell, but also that slightly waxy smell. And I'm not saying that because of the wax here, at least I don't think so. I'm smelling that waxy thing here. The only other thing I could see going on in this candle is a little bit of creaminess, like peaches and cream, or Yoplait peach yogurt. You get that lactic acid from the yogurt contrasted with the malic acid from the stone fruit peach. Nice contrast of acidities, lactic and malic acid. So Georgia peach, really intense, super ripe, candy-esque peach. So there it is, folks. We made it. 9 candles. Check it out. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, thumbs up if you want. And if you haven't subscribed already, maybe you want to do that as well. But that's going to be it for me. It is late and I just smelled a lot of candles. My nose is tired. My throat is sore. I'm off to bed. So I'm going to sign off. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And you know what? I'm going to see you real soon. Good night.